What is up, subscribers? Today we're working on my 1998 GMC Sierra once again. The main thing I really want to accomplish today is getting rid of the oil cooler lines and replacing the oil cooler line adapter with this common small block Chevy one Rob gave me. These are the oil cooler lines here. I've showed you them already. They would normally go into the rad, but the rad I've got now doesn't have the holes for it. I find the oil cooler lines are just a nuisance and not worth it, at least for a truck that's going to be driven in winter. I don't think the oil is going to need a lot of cooling. I've seen a lot of questions about it on the internet when I was researching it myself, so I figured I'd show you guys as well as whatever else I can fit into the day. But as usual with me, we're already behind, so let's go. Almost forgot I had this new AC Delco thermostat to install, so I pulled off the water neck. Here's the old orange crusty one here, just like everything else in the cooling system. Alright, back here underneath the truck, you can see that's where the oil filter used to go. Might be hard to see, but that's the oil cooler line adapter fitting that goes on the block. If you're not sure where I am under the truck, there's the oil pan drain plug right there, and it's right up there. So you can see those two bolts there. To me, they look like 13s. We're gonna pop those out. I'm not even gonna bother trying to take the cooler lines off because that looks difficult. I'll probably just cut them and then pull the cooler lines out the top and take this adapter out the bottom here. So I took the two long bolts out, the 13mm head ones. You can see it hanging there, the orange gasket in there. I can actually get at the cooler lines by pushing the adapter forward a bit, and I couldn't really get in there to cut them, so I'm just going to try to take them off, and then the adapter should slide out on this side of the drive shaft here, I figure. But just like everything else underneath the old body style Chevy with independent front suspension, it's very tight. Very tight. This is definitely one of those jobs that a piece of cardboard would be a good idea, because oil's going to be spraying down on you everywhere. So I got one of the lines off. It's right there. It's an inch fitting. You need an inch size wrench for that fitting. Now that I got that bottom one off, I was kind of able to move the adapter over a bit, and now I can reach the top one through here, hopefully. After a bunch of swearing and wishing I'd taken more stuff off, I got it out of there. That's where the two bolts are at the bottom. That's where the lines go. That's where the filter used to go. This goes to the engine block, and that's where the newer, bigger filter will go. Basically, this surface is just replicated by the newer filter, and you put this in there so it can thread onto it. So basically, instead of that, you just got this on there. It would definitely be a lot easier to get out if you took some more parts off. If you had the drive shaft off, it'd be easy. The lines are now loose. There's just a bracket that holds them onto the frame, I believe. So I'm gonna undo that and yank those out of there as well. Once you're done putting the new small block Chevy old school style adapter on, you should have something that looks like that. From what I've read, any old school style oil filter will fit on there. You just have to be aware the drive shaft is right here. So you're kind of limited with the height of the oil filter, so you want to get a shorter one. This is basically what the setup looks like on the truck, off the truck. That would be on the engine. Those go up to the rad. Super glad this thing is gone. They tend to leak a ton. You can see it's just caked in oil. It's almost a problem on all these GM vehicles. Lots of people would say maybe you should just replace them. It is something GM put there. I saw a GM mechanic argue that they put so much money into R&D of them, so they must be worth something. I don't know. I'm not really looking for max engine life out of this thing. It's just going to be a winter beater, like I said, so overheating oil probably won't be a problem at minus 30 Celsius. And this engine really doesn't have to last me that much longer. This truck is either destined for the junkyard, to be a farm truck, or to get an LS in it eventually. Because why not, right? You'll have to do your own research for yourself on the pros and cons of removing this, but for me, deleting it is going to work just fine. I took a break from working on this thing to shoot the Where Did the Sonic Stand Go video. It'll be the previous video if you're watching this one. The next step will be to fill this thing with water and oil and put a new filter on underneath. I gotta go inside and edit the Sonic Stang video so you guys have something to watch today, and then I'll be going to the store and getting oil and a filter for this thing. So let's fast forward to a little bit later today. Alright, so it's now 1 in the morning. I'm still out here in my driveway. Just got back from a late night Walmart run. Picked up this fancy Tune-It oil here for 16 bucks for 5 liters. And this oil filter. pH 5 would also work, but it's taller and the drive shaft kind of comes into play, gets in the way there. So pH 30 I think is going to be the one you're going to want for this in a 4x4 truck. Got her up in there just to test fit it before I filled it with oil, and it looks like it's going to seal up and fits good. There's definitely room between it and the drive shaft. That's not going to be an issue. So that's the one you want for this swap. Couldn't find a funnel. Didn't do too bad though. Now I'm going to fill the cooling system up with water from this hose here. I'm probably going to still flush it a few times after I've ran it and let it warmed up and go through there. Eventually I'm going to have to put antifreeze in it just because of the temperatures we reach here. But for now, just going to put some water in there. I'm just going to steal the battery of the S15 for now. I don't have one for the Sierra yet. You might have noticed I'm using vice grips for the battery terminals. These little bolts on these GM vehicles always tend to get stripped, so I kind of just expect to use vice grips at this point. Alright, we're ready to fire up now. Just a quick summary. I did new plugs and wires and obviously the spider injector, and I'm hoping that will fix a high idle problem, and I kind of had a miss as well. And all the cooling stuff, that will also be put to the test to check for leaks. I don't know if I'll be able to see leaks tonight. I'm just more curious if it's going to run good with the engine changes I made. So here we go. Actually, before I start it, I'm just going to prime the fuel pump a few times and check for fuel leaks, because that's probably the smart way to do this. Well, it doesn't smell gassy. Can't immediately see anything. Again, it's kind of hard to see in the dark. This would really be better left for tomorrow, but I want to hear it run. Let's see what she does. I don't know why it's doing this. Maybe the new spider injector? So that's interesting. Obviously doesn't sound like it's running quite right just yet. The idle keeps flaring for some reason. But it smells like gas. It's running. At least we started it. We already touched the gas and it idles down, but it's still just above 1100. Then it creeps back up again. Whew, definitely a little oil stink. I must have spilled a little more than I thought I did there. Oil filter's nice and dry and sealed up though, so at least that worked. I'm not quite sure what to think of the way it was running there, the high idle, how it was hunting up and down and then missing. I'm gonna have to look at some stuff. Maybe the computer just needs a second to kind of retune itself, figure out what's going on, because if the other spider injector was faulty, it could have been compensating for it in ways. I'm not sure how complicated these older truck computers are, but I'm going to count today as a win. There was no leaks. Everything seems good under there, so we'll just be going from here. Bodywork is next. Hoping to really do some bodywork tomorrow. And tomorrow's also SPP Wednesday, so maybe we'll do a live stream. I have to see what the guys want to do and where we end up going. If we go to Clayton's, the internet ain't so shit hot, and I don't want it looking like potato vision, so we'll see. If you're subscribed, you'll get a email notification and a YouTube notification when we do live streams, so just look out for that. And if you're not subscribed, why not? It's free and you should really do it because it's great and it helps us out, and you can join the SPPTV army. I think that'll be all for today. It is 2:08 in the morning now. My neighbor's probably gonna kill me if I keep running this thing, having it rev that high. As usual, like, share, comment, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.